I know there's a lot of guys out there talking about the manosphere, and I gotta ask a question about you guys. Do you guys like women?
Once you have children, you don't have the privilege to have pride.
Just because you start in the fries doesn't mean you gotta end there. Why do we have homeless people? Why do we have people that gotta go out and rob to eat? Why do we gotta have all this when we are the richest country in the world?
We really need to embrace our differences and respect one another as a civilization. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you're from, what you're from. We are all literally we're all mammals. We're all human beings.
And your woman is not just your mate. Your woman is your counselor, your teacher, and man, your fucking best friend.
I hate saying 50-50 in relationships because you should always give 100.
100.
Right?
Welcome back for season 2 of the Real Deal Health, Wellness, and Insurance podcast. We have a few changes that we're going to introduce. So one is the name of the podcast now is the Real Deal Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle podcast, which will include Cabasas Cabeza. So if you've been watching us on Cabasas Cabeza, I want to thank you. Please switch over to the Real Deal. And we welcome all comments and anybody that has anything to say. And if you have something to say that we feel would be a good vibe or a good match for our show, we'll definitely hit you in the comments and invite you on. First segment is the Bougie Bob segment. Bougie Bob is what we would call the metrosexual manosphere. I know there's a lot of guys out there talking about the manosphere, and I got to ask a question about you guys. Do you guys like women? But then, if you want to learn how to be a real man and take care of yourself and beautify yourself, tune into the Bougie Bob segment. The second segment is Sunny Vibes Excellence. Exactly. Sunny will be here. She's not here today, but she will be coming on and talking about some things that she does and some excellence. And there'll be questions like, is that exactly true for Sunny? Then we have the Don Juan Don Latin Quarter. That will be, that's my man here, Juan Cabrera, and that's his segment where we'll be introducing Latin flavor.
Latin flavor, it's a Latin flavor,
vibes,
Latin vibe, all things good.
What's
Latin.
the name of that place we were looking at? Don Cervantes down in Westchester County. If you're watching us, Don, please come on the show. I have another one. There is Coquito. Up in Orange County.
Yes.
If the owner, we met the owner a couple of weeks ago. If you're willing to come on the show, we're more than welcome to big your company, your place of business up. Our show, and I'll get to the last one. Our show is about the Hudson Valley and what is extraordinary about the Hudson Valley. So I got
things to do, places to go, people to see.
I'm gonna give two names that I think would be proper for us, and they put their events live online on Instagram and things like that. One's name is Laura Mignon Spellman. If you ever watch this show, dear, I've sent out multiple invitations for people to come to an event at my office, which is the health insurance store at 929 North Broadway in White Plains, 10603. And I keep hitting you and trying to get you to put some events of mine online, but it seems like you are, what would be the word? You're kind of like not seeing me. So I shout you out on the podcast. I hope you see me now. So another person I like to talk to is Tara Latour, who is a big person that does a lot of events also in the Hudson Valley, mostly in Putnam and Dutchess. We'd like to invite you on. Also, you, Ms. Spellman, we would like to invite you on to talk about your podcast, your platforms, and how individuals can take advantage of setting up events on your platform. The last person here is one of my specials that would be Nicky Needles. And Nicky Needles hers is the Nicky Needles whoop.
Real Talk with Nicky Needles. Real
Talk with Nicky Needles, where we will be getting into some real talk, especially starting tonight. So we'll get to that in a moment.
I can't wait.
The last one is the last segment we'll get into would be specifically towards me and Juan and some other people that we'll invite in, and that's let's clean up the world of insurance. Let's clean it up. Let's be real and clean it up. All right, so I want to get to some hot topics. Me and Nicole were discussing some hot topics. And the first one we wanted to discuss today was the big, ugly triple B bill and how it's going to hurt individuals. I think me and Juan on our last podcast, we ended the first season talking about it a little bit. And I think you had some good points, Nicole. Juan has good points. One of them was about having people that are able-bodied, weaning them. Would we say weaning them off of Medicare?
I mean
Medicaid.
Wean them off if
Social
they're
services.
able-bodied.
Social services.
Weaning them off social services.
Weaning them off social
We just need to
Social
cut them
services.
off of
Yeah,
services, not wean.
there's a lot of programs out there that are being exploited, and they are not meant for the people that are exploiting them.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
like multi-generational welfare recipients.
There you go.
I agree.
I have always been a opponent of that, of multi-generational welfare. Because I think that at some point.
Make that clear. It sounded like you said proponent.
No, I said opponent.
Thank you.
I have always been against that because no one's learning anything.
Right.
Yep.
No one is moving forward.
Yep.
And I hate when people get stuck in a rut. And that's really what it propagates. And that's why I don't like it. I think that, we should be, particularly with our children, we should be moving our children forward. And I think that really is what a parent, besides the many other things that a parent's job should be, it should be to make their children better than they were, to give them things that make them better, to give them the tools to be better than they were. You have to move forward or take 2 more steps forward as a child than, what your parent was. Be better.
Yes.
Basically what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
But I agree there's some good things, there's some positives on that bill, but then there's some negatives that are going to affect my state, your state, Juan's state, and that's New York State. When we're talking about the cut of $80 million in social services from the federal government,
It's going to hurt.
it's going to hurt.
Sting.
And
Obviously.
the most important people to me that are going to get hurt are seniors. Seniors that are not necessarily able-bodied or can, because we already talked to a little bit about where
Right.
you're going to end up having to show up at an office with at a certain hour and a certain time. And I think Nicole made some valid points earlier. You want to go over it? Like how would they, if they
But hold
can't
on,
get
but
there?
before
Go ahead.
Nicole goes on, I just wanted to point out that when we spoke about there are the good and the bad, but one of the things that we said early on that we are not in favor is going to be the collateral damage.
Yes.
And I think that the collateral damage of this bill, and we all knew that there was going to be collateral damage.
Right.
I don't like the collateral damage because of who it affects. It affects a very vulnerable population.
Yes.
Which is the seniors and the single mothers. And you know how I feel about that. The single mother to me is the most sacred thing in the world.
But go ahead. You want to make
No,
it clear?
I want to tap on that. You're
Go ahead,
absolutely
go.
right.
It's because I feel like, look, and you and I, and we spoke a little bit about this before the segment. Look, for those who don't need it, I'm all in favor of those who abuse it. Stop that.
Absolutely.
But for the mother, and I always think about this, I think about the mother who now is going to struggle to put food on the table for her children.
Absolutely.
And that to me, that strikes at the core.
Yep.
yeah.
Being a single mother myself,
Yes.
like it's difficult. That's one of my hot topics
There you
is
go.
the back to school moms edition.
Back to school moms edition.
Especially single mothers. Talking about doing better for your child, giving them a better life, giving them better opportunities. My kids like to play sports, as a lot of kids do. Right. So now not only do we have to balance back to school responsibilities, now we have to balance after school responsibilities with sports teams and trying to juggle that while trying to juggle a household and a career, because you need to work.
And running a business.
No,
Running
Nicole
a
runs
business.
a
I'm not even
business.
talking
But
about
Nicole-
myself.
all
I'm
right,
just talking
please,
about,
about you.
Okay,
Go
yes,
ahead.
running a business.
Running a business.
But women that just work. I mean,
Yeah,
how do you
I
work, take care of the kids? What if you have more than one kid that has to, now you're worried about carpooling, and do I trust my kid going to, carpool with this person? And there's so many things going on in this mom's brain, and now they have to worry about,
Putting food on the table.
putting food on the table and not
essential.
having the essential
I think that's
benefits
the
that
biggest
they can
factor
get.
in singles moms leaving the workforce.
100%.
Is that they got to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
They don't have a support system. And we just saw, I don't know, you saw the jobs report? There was 300,000 women that had to leave the workforce. Or basically didn't leave, they were forced
They
to.
were forced to.
It was
Exactly.
it was a choice between their household, their children,
Yeah.
and the job.
And this is why it's so important to kind of push that reset button on how the benefits are distributed, because people that are taking advantage of the system, and there are
I heard in the
Millions.
hundreds of thousands of millions of people that are taking
billions of
advantage
people.
of the system, there are also hundreds of thousands of millions of people that actually need the system.
That's right.
But, you know, where are the checks and balances in that?
Yeah.
Santiago was telling me they used to do phone calls. Really? You used
Yeah.
to do phone calls?
You used to be able to call
Come
the
on.
state
In the
and
days of
recertify.
Zoom meetings, in the days of, I mean, don't they do like house checks for random things? Like,
do.
I don't understand.
They do.
How did it get this bad where now your
How did we
type
get
of
this far?
population that you take care of that actually needs these services, that are bedbound,
Yeah.
that may have dementia and don't even remember their own name, let alone a date to go, you know, to see someone to keep those benefits. How did it get there?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, because
horrible.
we're the thing I know me and Juan were fretting over is that, you know, how many seniors are going to get those letters in the mail?
How many
and
are
not
going to think
even
it's
get-
fraudulent?
And not even respond.
How many are going to put it aside and then,
right.
you know, sundown syndrome sets in and they forget, or the dementia sets in, or their child who comes and visits throws it away because they don't know that it's important. I mean,
that's right.
you don't know.
The renewal.
And if the result is, if you miss your meeting and the result would be that you would lose 6 months of your Medicaid. If you're a Medicaid recipient as a senior and you have a home health attendant,
Right.
then why
if you lose
isn't-
the Medicaid, your home health attendant will go
Why
away.
aren't those Medicaid and Medicare workers that are supposed to be checking, you know, follow up with doctors for those housebound patients or patients with dementia? Like, why do they leave the service or the procedure up to the patient who is unable to?
And I'm going to get to that.
perform that
I'm going to
task?
say that's more of an insurance broker / agent thing that they need to do. So part of whatever carrier.
Hold on, but before we go, I
ahead,
want to
go
just
ahead.
say something out to our listening population, and I think that this is important.
Yeah.
And this pertains to the men, not to the women. So, guys, I'm going to say this just once,
Yeah.
and it might come off a little bit raw, and
all right.
some people may not like it. But, guys, if you're a man, you're an able body, you know, and you're able to work,
Yeah.
don't take those benefits. Get your ass to work.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
no
and
job
don't
is
pick the
beneath
work.
you. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have children, look, I have a fucking business degree. And if I have to go to Walmart and load boxes for my kids, I don't give a fuck. I
There you
don't
go.
have.
With a smile on your face.
I
agree.
don't have the privilege. Once you have children, you don't have the privilege to have pride.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay? Work is work.
You were
Okay?
was it you that was telling the story of the guy? I think he was a Latino man.
this is beneath me. I can't do
Oh, no, I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
No, collecting unemployment should be beneath you,
Yeah,
right? I
nothing's
mean, if
beneath
you're
you.
able to work, mop floors,
There you go.
you know, be a busboy, be a waiter,
Yeah.
make coffee. You're still bringing some sort of, you know,
Some
substance,
value.
some value
Showing
to the
value
table.
to your
value.
kids.
You're
Yeah.
providing for your family.
Yeah.
That's what a man's supposed to do: protect and provide.
You know,
period.
and your child will learn from
Exactly.
that.
That's
They'll
right.
learn that they are not going to be lazy bums.
That
because
jobs are
that is
beneath
what
them.
you are teaching them. Oh,
Exactly.
that job is beneath me. I will pick up fucking dog poop to
Exactly.
put food on the table for my
Just
kids.
because-
I don't give a shit.
100%.
What did that one dude say? Just because you start on the fries doesn't mean you got to end there.
You got to end on the fries. Everybody's got to start
There was
someplace,
some,
brother.
I know there's a guy that owns he owns a McDonald's somebody that owns a franchise. I think it's a McDonald's. He started on the fries.
I love
What
those
about-
success
Now he
stories.
owns a
I love them.
franchise.
I
Well,
love
what
those
about-
success stories.
franchise?
What about the CEO from Doritos or whatever?
Yes.
He was the janitor that
That's
came
right.
up with the spicy Doritos or the spicy
And now-
Cheetos.
Love the success stories.
And now he's
love it.
the CEO of that department
Love it.
because he grew it.
Love it.
I'll speak about myself.
Love it.
Before I got into health insurance, dude, I was living out of my car. I was eating mayonnaise sandwiches. I was working in nonprofit. And then, you know, I just happened to find the ability, you know, somebody, I got to give props to a guy named Robert. He found me. I went to an interview in United Healthcare in a freaking hovel in the Bronx before the ACA was coming up. And Robert Perez.
Robert
if you're
Perez.
watching this, yo.
Robert, kudos to you, brother.
Yes, Robert Perez.
Much love, Rob.
Yeah.
Much love. Much love.
I came
man.
in for an interview. My suit was way too big because I didn't have one. I flew out. I brushed my teeth in my car. I went to the Y and took a shower.
Got the job.
And I got the job.
Got the job.
And ever since this, it's been a love affair with health insurance and being selfless, like we'll get to.
Which leads us to the next hot topic.
Go ahead.
Which
right? Is Santiago came up with it. Selfish
Versus selfless. How many times we talk about
Ooh.
this?
Yeah.
That's a hot
But I just want to make one more
Loaded.
point. I know Juan was making a point about going to work. I'm gonna tell you the story. So there is a homeless shelter that I work with in Poughkeepsie, in Dutchess County or Putnam County, whichever one. And I get there at 9 a.m. when I go there to help people get insurance. There's two sides to the shelter. There's the side with the recent immigrants, and there's the side with the Americans. And guys, I do not break down anything by demographics. I don't care.
He's gonna keep it real. Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
tell you, you're all Americans. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't give a shit. You're all Americans. And this is your attitude, and this is the problem. And it'll lead us back to selfish versus selfless. I get there at 9 a.m. The hotel, they serve breakfast for all. And when I get there at 9 a.m., the people that are going to work are on one side, and the people that are, what would we say, welfare babies and don't give a shit are on the other side. When you line up the people that are going to work, why is it's the immigrants? Why is it the recent immigrants?
Because no job is below them.
That's right.
They came here to better their lives.
That's
so
right.
clearly, even doing that, taking a job that they don't, they may not have skills to or passion for, they're still showing up.
That's right. They'll clean up a shitty bathroom.
Exactly.
They'll make the fries. They'll work in the gas station and clean the floors.
Family.
But you guys that are on the other side of the shelter, when I ask you why you not working, or I can't find a job, and I say, well, CVS is hiring, Walgreens is hiring, McDonald's is hiring, the gas station right 5 minutes down the road are hiring. Oh, I'm an American. That's beneath me. Well then, that's the major point. That you're an American.
That's the difference.
That you feel like because you're an American, you don't need to have the social services. So me, Nicole, Juan will pay for you to live. Disgusting. Absolutely. Get out of here. Yep. So all the people that have hit me with comments online about my lady that was getting $750. And we tried to do a SNAP application, and when I got the receipt, it said she had to wait 2 weeks. But you guys out there saying, oh, she should just get a job. Remember the people I just talked about who are eating off the system because they think they're Americans, so they don't have to take that kind of menial job. Leave that for the immigrants, but the immigrants you want to get rid of, ask some of them farmers in Nebraska what's happening to their farms. Ask what's that singer? She already came out and said, I don't got nobody to work on my farm. And then somebody said, oh, well, find the Americans to do it. Guess what? They're not going to do it. You find me one American that will go out in California and pick some oranges for a whole 11 hours for minimum wage. Yeah, find them. Find them. So get out the Americans. Yeah, get off your asses and get out there and work. I don't care what kind of job it is. Just be responsible and get out there. And stop using my tax money. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a couple of states, and I'm going to go, I think we talked about it. Governor Hochul, this is for you, dear. Please stop the federal tax money coming out of my check. Leave it in this state, because I'm tired of paying for Medicaid and all those social services in Louisiana, in Kentucky, and all those red states where those people hate the shit out of us. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Selfish versus selfless. We were just on this. Selfish individuals are the people that I'm not going to assume, I'm going to say they are people you're making millions and millions of dollars. You're part of the 1% in this country. And when you look down out of your ivory tower, you see homeless veterans. You see people out there with nothing. But you want to consistently go out there and buy another car, another house. You want to have another 13 kids, right? Right, Elon? Or whatever your name is, Elon Musk, whatever your name is. I mean, I don't get you guys. I don't get it. We're supposed to be the richest country in the world. We spoke about this. Why do we have homeless people? Why do we have people that got to go out and rob to eat? Why do we got to have all this when we are the richest country in the world? So if we're the richest country in the world, put your money where your mouth is, and let's get to it. Let's get to work and get these people off the street. Let's get these people that need mental health assistance. Let's get them into a hospital. Let's pay it for them. I don't get it. I'm not one. I don't know if you're for it, but I'm not one for Medicare for all, because people, private industry would just blow up. I mean, when we looked at the jobs report, the highest people being hired in healthcare, right? So how are you going to do away with a very substantial private business entity that is hiring most workers right now?
Fastest growing segment.
With the fastest growing segment. All right, so that's my selfish. You got anything?
And we go back to mental health, and
yes.
stop watching the news sometimes because it's,
I was
you know
just
how
saying that.
some guy with a mental illness gets up and stabs a woman. A woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
fuck,
She was just
she's a woman
riding
coming
the
from
bus.
Work.
Riding the bus.
Riding the bus, coming from work. For the love of God, she still had her uniform on, man. And this, and I'm gonna refrain from using profanity, but
POS.
and I really want to, but he stabbed her to death in
He did.
cold blood.
Yep.
She was
For
a
no
woman.
reason.
She was
Was that-
probably
She didn't,
tired.
she didn't
was coming from
agitate
work. She
him,
was-
nothing. He was sitting behind her and he just got up and stabbed her.
And that was in where?
That was on a bus
On the
in
bus.
North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
It was, my heart cries for this woman.
Ukrainian.
Like,
This poor woman was fleeing a war zone.
he was
man.
taken
Came here to
out
make a
of
better life for
jail,
herself.
cashless bond 14
oh.
times. 14 times.
Wow.
Like, why wasn't he put in a mental health facility? Why are we failing the system when it comes to mental health? For our veterans, for the homeless, you know, for EDPs. I mean, it is insane.
PTSD.
It really is.
It is insane that we
really,
just
really.
keep sweeping this under
Under
the
the
rug.
rug.
You know,
Under
the
the
thoughts
rug.
and prayers
Oh, the
stuff.
thoughts and prayers.
Oh, something should have happened.
Yep.
That's selfless. Selfless is actually taking accountability for what's happening and being like, I do want to make a change. You know,
I agree.
the gentleman that actually helped this woman, that was selfless. He was trying to stop the bleeding. He had to wipe his phone to call 911 because it was full of her blood. Okay? Like, that is so disgraceful.
Yeah. I mean,
It
we
breaks
just
my
had
heart.
the.
It breaks
It really
my
breaks
heart.
my heart.
And
It
guys,
really
don't.
does,
I always say this to politicians and everybody. That's not a red or blue state issue. That's an
this is
American
No,
issue.
this is a human issue.
Yeah,
It's not
human,
even-
American,
like,
whatever.
How are we not taking care of people who clearly are not in their right state of mind?
right.
And this goes back to a conversation we had months ago where I said any medication takes 4 to 6 weeks to kick in.
That's right.
So for you to put someone on a 72-hour hold, start them on medication, and then just send them on their way and depend on them to continue taking that medication is
Ludicrous.
beyond my grasp of understanding.
Ludicrous.
But then you know, we were talking. You know, jails are run by private industry now, so a lot of these people, you know, recidivism is big, and it's big for their profits. You know, making sure that these people end up back in jail is really a big
But
profit.
at what cost?
Yeah.
At a
Usually
poor
at the
woman's
cost of it,
life?
yeah.
At a
Like,
human life,
it's
the
come
cost of a
on.
human life, man.
2 human lives, really, because now that other person who's still mentally ill is in jail. They have no chance of getting better or leaving. So, like, really, where does it end?
Yep.
Where does it end?
Yep, I remember,
You know, my prayers are really with her family. I feel so horrible.
There was
It's
there was an episode. I loved it. I love this show. There was an episode of Law and Order with a homeless guy who killed another homeless guy, and at the end of the episode, the homeless guy that killed the other homeless guy got convicted. And they were talking to, his name is Jack McCoy. His assistant was like, "Oh, what did we do?" And Jack McCoy says, "We sent him we got him out of one jungle and sent them into
Exactly.
another to get no help at all." So I mean, we kind of like, you know, there's a mantra in this everywhere. This is a dog-eat-dog world, but you know, we got to stop that.
We gotta really
come
realize,
together
yeah, we're
and
all
assist
human.
all of our people. It's
crazy.
I mean, like I said, and me and Juan always talk about this. In our industry, the selfless person wins. And when I say selfless, you know, giving your clients the best possible options. And not only, you know, and I always tell my clients, you know, if at some point, if you have an issue and you want to vent, call me. But just remember, I'm going to vent back. But I give you that opportunity.
Yeah.
I also have clients, and I know we're not supposed to do this one, but sometimes I get people, they can't eat. You know, I'm not going to deny my clients a couple of
meal,
bucks to go
yeah.
get a meal.
No, man.
Sorry, if you want to come after me for it, come on. But I'm not going to do
I
that.
can't.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Sometimes
Wait,
you
so-
see shit that I can't go home. And
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, it's like, I told you the story that I went to that client's house. I looked in the fridge and there was a potato and
Wow.
a bottle of water. And I was like, OJ, what are you eating tonight? She goes, oh, I'll find something. And I said, you know what? I'll take care of you. I couldn't get in that car
Wow.
Fast
and
enough,
go
right?
home.
Yeah.
without me saying, you know what, I need to make sure that she eats.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I went downstairs and I bought her grocery. Juan, no, but I said, listen, you don't owe me a thing.
Yeah.
We had a homeless patient come into my office in Manhattan. He just, we were on Park Avenue, so he just walked in off the street. But he was like, please, I'm starving. Can someone help me? And I was like, hold on right now. I was like, let me make you a cup of coffee. I went in the refrigerator. There was like an extra yogurt, an apple, an orange juice, like whatever I could find. We had some like Snickers bars and stuff. So I was like, this is all we have. I gave him $10. I was like, please, eat this. Go get something to eat. I was like, but, I can't have you sitting in my office, right? And he was like, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. He only did it once. So it's not like, but still, it's very sad that this happens in this country, in any country really, but like we really need to embrace our differences and respect one another as a civilization. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you're from, what you're from. We are all literally like, we're all mammals. We're all human beings. We are all, made of the same cosmic dust. I mean, what the hell? Like, why? Anywho,
on the flip side, and I'll leave you with this. It's a jolt was needed, man.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It's a jolt. So this we were talking about what the president of the Dominican Republic did.
Yes. Go ahead, tell it.
He just cleaned out, canceled all the cards. You guys got to reapply.
Yeah.
Press the reset button.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's necessary.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I mean, sometimes you got to go to the nuclear option.
Yeah.
No. It might take that to actually get people to see that, stepping over your homeless person in the street is not to the betterment of yourself.
You and I, people who need the benefits. Period. Period.
You know how I am and how we are.
Yeah.
Keeping it real. Sometimes it's like, okay, so we got to press the reset button, and there's going to be some collateral damage, but. Yeah, it's needed, man.
It is needed.
We gotta press that button. You can't be afraid to, in case of emergency, break glass and press button. We gotta break this glass.
I mean,
press the button.
And Nicole said something earlier that was very to the point. You got to close every loophole.
You do.
You got to close, as my man said in Wolf of Wall Street, you got to close every rat hole.
Yeah.
You just got to close it because it's just in the nature of Americans to find a way to beat the system.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, and you know what? By beating the system, you're
beating
hurting
yourself up because you're just paying
yourself.
more and more taxes.
Right,
because
but
you're
you're
helping more and more people.
You don't only hurt yourself, you hurt everybody. But like when we talk about Medicare, and we'll get into that, Medicare is a fist. Whatever happens to one of y'all happens to all of you. So if you're not going to see your primary doctor and doing all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you end up in the emergency room, guess what's going to happen to everybody? The cost of care is going to go up.
Because it's trickling down. Every time you don't see your doctor according to your plan, you're ruining it for everyone else.
That's
right?
Yeah.
Which is also funny because then people talk about, the nationwide healthcare system and stuff. They think that that's not going to happen if we do go under one umbrella branch.
Yeah, man.
They're going to base it off of everyone and how many visits and everything. So if no one's taking advantage of it, then it's good. That's not going to be good either.
Be based on that.
Come on, hello, open your eyes, people. Open your brains and think.
I
agree.
So I'm going to end hot topic. Those are our hot topics for this podcast.
And there's more to come.
There'll be more.
There'll be more.
Yeah.
We'll keep it real here.
We always keep it real here. So let's get to the real deal segment today.
Oh,
Nicole,
boy.
what's the name of your segment?
Real Talk with Nicky Needles.
And today, Real Talk is about what? Let's talk about sex.
Let's
talk about
all right.
you.
So as I had mentioned before, and in full disclosure, a warning here, guys.
If your kids are watching,
it's Nicole.
If
talking about sex.
Yeah, man.
So take a volume, or whatever your pleasure is there to calm down.
Or Nicole can prescribe some shit for you also.
Wait, not if you're not my patient.
Not if you're not her patient.
We'll get into that.
Tell us
no further ado.
By the way, Nicole, tell us where you are.
So,
let's go.
Infinite U Wellness Clinic. There's one in Infinite U Wellness Clinic.
It is a bougie clinic.
It is a very pretty clinic.
Nicole is not there every day.
I'm not there every day, but my awesome staff is.
Yes.
Shout out to them.
Definitely.
So we have a location in White Plains, New York, and in Garden City, Long Island, and soon to be Stamford, Connecticut.
CT.
All right.
Show your love,
Yay.
CT.
Right.
Nicole, I've been with Nicole for probably like, what, 3 years? Going on 3 years
I think
now?
4 years
Yeah,
now.
4 years.
Yeah.
And I was one of those, and Nicole will get to this like, give me what I want, give me what I want. Until she said what she said on one of our segments, like, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want. And,
Not necessarily
no, now
like
I'm going
that,
to do what I want.
Santiago.
I'm going to
I'm
do
gonna
it in the
do
time
what's best
frame.
I'm
for
gonna do
you.
it how I want.
Yes.
How I need to do it because you can't tell me how to do my job.
There you go.
And
Leave it to the experts.
That's
Always
it.
Nicole
leave it
is
to
a
the experts.
very selfless,
Thank you.
giving person.
Thank
she
you.
has 2 wonderful children.
Thank you.
And a lot of dogs.
I got 3 puppies. They're so cute.
Poor. I wish I could.
Scrappy Doo, I
Scrappy
know.
Doo.
For all you listeners out there, you were thinking that someone like this is not the complete package. Intelligent, beauty, nurturing,
Oh, thank
caring.
you. Tell me more, tell me more.
Man, oh man, I'll keep it coming if you want.
Thank you.
And
Do
guys,
tell, don't stop.
And I just want to get before we start asking questions and I let Nicky go. I just want to say to those knuckleheads in the manosphere, come on, guys, man. I don't think you guys like women. I don't know how you telling young dudes to go out there and beat like Cro-Magnon, like me beat you over the head.
Nah.
Me
Fuck
beat
that.
you. We
No,
beat
fuck
we
that.
beat
No.
you. Let me
that.
take you
No.
by the hair.
No.
You do what I say.
No.
Come on, dudes.
Yeah.
Come
no,
on.
No. There's no
Respect
respect. In my
is
mind,
respect.
there is no. I have no respect for a man who raises his hand to his woman with violence. That just to me, and I think that, and I had this conversation with my son, and because we had gotten to a point, and I had told him, listen, as a man, a real man, okay, takes care of his family, but also being a man means that you're caring, you're nurturing,
You
you're
protect
tolerant,
your family.
you're tolerant,
Yes.
okay, and as much as your woman might drive you crazy and bring you to a point where you actually want to hit her, you don't do that.
And don't and one mistake. I'm not gonna tell that story again. But dudes, if your wife is besting you or your woman is besting you,
Praise them.
appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
I tell all the ladies out there, yo, if you want to best me, you could best me, and I will cook, I'll clean, and I'll stay home and chill.
But see, it's not even that. Like, you want to.
He literally will.
He will. You for sure will. But you also want to praise your partner and you
Yes.
want to encourage them and lift them up. And whether the man's successful, the woman's successful,
Yes.
the goal is to both
Yeah,
of you to
yeah,
be
no,
successful,
absolutely.
right? And the way to do that is to respect one another, give each other their own space, praise each other, encourage one another, and be their biggest cheerleader.
That's it.
And then love and abundance will come.
That's right.
And I always said
Period.
it. Look, our relationship is based on 3 things: love, trust, and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And your woman is not just your mate. Your woman is your counselor, your
Yep.
teacher, and man, your fucking best friend.
Yep.
Man.
And your lover.
That's right.
Back
And
to my topic.
Let's go. And I always say,
I always said that. Baby, you look good in that shirt.
Yeah.
Go on.
But hold on, I got a
You're
question.
saucing me. You want me to stay home,
I got
don't
a
you?
question.
Yes,
I
I
got
do.
a question.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my question. The sex guru over here. Let me get to my question. So, to me, one of the biggest factors in marriage is the attraction level from the start to as you go on in years. So
You're gonna
there
go
was
down that road again?
Yeah, of course.
Oh boy.
So there was
There we go.
there was a study I saw, a survey I saw, where it's certain individuals go a certain way. You're married and you look a certain way, and then all of a sudden you let yourself go. But why is it consistently where the man, like we see dudes with man bod, dad bods and shit like that, but the wife has to stay? How do you feel about that one?
So it's 100-100 split street. I hate saying 50-50 in relationships because you should always give 100-100.
100.
Right?
Agreed.
Men age better than women, obviously. Women go through a lot of different hormonal changes.
Well, you have to have
than men
kids.
do.
Women have
We
children.
do have kids, and that changes our body completely. We've discussed that. It's a lot easier for, roles for the man to go out and, he's able to squeeze in time before work to go to the gym or after work to go to the gym because he relies on his partner, on his wife to be home for the kids and have dinner ready and stuff, right?
Hot
So
topic you just spoke about.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, for men, it's a lot easier to take care of themselves in that way because selfish, selfless, right? sometimes you have to be selfish, especially in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you're not fit physically, mentally, emotionally, how are you going to be able to provide and protect for your family as a man, right? Yeah. And also as a woman, you know, there are women that like, I have to go to the gym. I have to do my Pilates. Otherwise, I can't function. And you know, because that's a form of release for them as well. Right. The way men talk about, you know, when they work out, it's, you know, they're taking out their frustration because you can't throat punch a motherfucker in the street, right? Like, so you take out your you could punch a punching bag, you could lift weights to get that extra aggravation out. If you're not getting nookie at home, you're going to take out your sexual frustration at the gym also, right? So see, like,
walk in the locker room and
no, but you're gonna, you know,
beat it. Okay.
But it's true. Like it's a lot easier for guys to take out their frustrations and get a good exercise in at that point.
I agree.
You know, mothers, it's always like, Mom, I need you. Mom, I need you. Honey, I need you to do this. So it's a lot harder. But women have to upkeep because in our mind, mentally, if we don't keep taking care of ourselves, there's 5 other fucking women that are going to walk by that are going to spring your husband's attention.
And then you guys do outnumber us.
Yep.
What is it, 3 to 1?
I think it's 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Five women.
Somebody says 10 to 1.
And then if you're not giving them the sexual satisfaction at home because you're tired, because you feel fat, because you don't feel sexy, one of those 5 bitches that are walking by is gonna give it to him, and he's gonna be like, well, I might as well, right?
But we'll get caught.
Can I just?
But we'll get caught.
And I just wanted to add this because I want to keep this. I want to keep this fresh in the mind. And Nicole will probably she'll hit on this later on. And I want to say this, and I want to keep it real. Mm-hmm. Some of the way that your woman looks, remember, you have something to do with it.
Yep.
We are the biggest culprit of how our women look sometimes because us men, I'm not going to deny it. As a man, and I'll say it right here on camera, keeping it real, we make our women messy.
So, Juan, what you're saying with the saying something, and you could even mean it as a joke, women are emotional, 1. 2, it is up to the spouse on how to take the joke. Like, you also have to know your partner. If they're, if they're frat boy joking, that's how they are, they're sarcastic, then you shouldn't take it to heart. But planting a seed in someone's brain will always let a little bud grow, right?
Yeah.
So like you said before, you may have not meant it in that way. It could have been like a, bump type of spur of the moment thing. You should follow up with it, And
I think that's the problem, that there wasn't a conversation following that where you said, you know what, listen, what I said, it was out of context and I completely wrong.
Yeah.
Time and place. I should have picked a better time, a better place.
Yeah, 100%.
But I didn't. But now it's already there.
Yeah.
So under certain emotional situations, and us men, I think that men, by nature, we're a little bit more abrasive, and sometimes we don't know how abrasive we are. So, and it's not that you should be walking on eggshells, by no means.
No.
But do know time and place.
Yes.
And do know your partner. You hit a point there. Yeah. Do know your partner and what gets to her or what gets to him and what boundaries are set there and where not.
Or what vibe they're giving off to you, right? If they're giving off like a serious, like I'm in an emotional state vibe, don't fuck around with them at that moment. No. Give them a sincere answer, and then you may follow up with something funny so that you get them out of that state. But don't, if a woman is feeling herself and she knows maybe she gained 5 or 7 pounds and she's like, do I look bad in this? I hate the do I look fat in this? Stop.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But does this outfit look good on me? Like, that's a better question to ask.
Right.
Even if you want to joke around, first be like, sweetheart, a potato sack looks good on you. Like, boost up their confidence and be like, but no, that outfit don't. Like, you could always follow it up with something, but like, always boost up your partner before you shoot them down, right?
And I think
that's a playful way to do it.
Presentation is a big thing in the sphere. Like, when you go out with your lady, you want to be, you want
to look good.
You want to walk in. When you open those doors to the event, you want to be like, damn, there's Santiago and there's his lady. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Right?
You always just want that. That's the
We
pride.
always appreciate that. That's that vanity. We're gonna get to vanity.
But you know what? I think that, but that, it doesn't hurt to say it every once in a while. Like, you know what? Like, to tell your woman, you know what, babe? Not for nothing, but I'm gonna tell you right off the bat.
Good.
I'm really, I'm proud that you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I mean that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you don't elaborate. Keep it to where the conversation.
keep it
to where it
simple.
was important.
Yeah.
Just say that. don't follow it up more because you fuck it up.
Oh yeah.
Babe,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really, really proud that you're my woman.
Yep.
Don't revert it back to you.
Yep.
No, it's all about you.
Yep.
I really am.
I
proud
guarantee
that you're
you
my
that'll
woman.
start a conversation eventually, or that'll start some sort of banter between you two that can grow into some sort of physical connection later.
Physical. Yeah.
I got one. All right, so I wanted to get to Nicole's mind on spontaneity in sex.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Here we go.
When I would appreciate spontaneity. When I say spontaneity in sex, hey girl, come in in your cheerleader outfit, please. You know, do your thing. Swing from the ceiling, yo. I want to see it. Yo, I have seen it. No, I haven't. Go back to my old the porn days.
Man, just
Yo,
so that you
I've
guys
seen-
know, and Nicole will she'll back me up on this one.
Yeah.
Not all men like the cheerleader, okay?
I like the cheerleader. You can come in as a wrestler and body suplex me.
Thank you.
What else can
Some
you
guys
do?
like the bodybuilder,
Yeah.
some guys like the French
nah.
maid, and we all have our
Depends.
favors, man.
Yeah, hey.
Well, as, you know,
go ahead.
as-
Spontaneity in sex. Let's do it.
It should be both ways again.
Yes.
you know.
Whoever's hungry cooks is what she's meaning.
That's
But go ahead.
basically, yeah. I mean, you know, if you want, listen, as a woman, if you want your man, like, go for it. He will not say no.
Nope.
Ladies, a man will never say no. Period.
Right.
They're
He
gonna
might.
say yeah. Really?
You're right.
Name one time you said no
might.
when your wife
It depends-
initiated.
It depends on how tired you are. It's like,
I literally see his
'Cause
nose
even if
going like
Because
Pinocchio.
even if we're tired, we still got to perform. Because we get to, somebody.
Listen, women get tired too. And we
Yeah,
still
women will go out there
perform.
and talk shit.
but the thing.
But that's cool.
Okay,
I don't mind.
Okay, got it.
I don't
I'm gonna
mind.
keep my
Talk
mouth
shit about
shut.
me.
It's your segment, babe.
Yeah, experience.
So spontaneity is always fun. I mean, to keep things spicy,
Yeah.
especially in long-term relationships,
That's right.
you want it to be spontaneous sometimes, right?
You do.
Sometimes a quick 5-minute fuck in the laundry room is, in the middle of the
You know
day.
that that's
just
what I was
because-
thinking about. No.
On top of the dryer while it's like.
On the
Whatever,
spin
it doesn't
cycle.
matter, like,
On the
you
spin
can-
cycle.
However,
Yeah.
but things like
How
that.
about just dive in the shower with your wife one day?
Exactly.
She taking a shower.
Yeah, just soaping each
jump
other
your
up.
ass
It
in there,
doesn't have to
man.
be like physical
How's
or
about that day? And she'll tell you, look, you look
Yeah.
really, really good on that shirt. You're saucing me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. You want me
Yeah.
to stay home, don't you? Yeah. Fuck it.
All right, let's go.
Fuck
And
it.
if
Let's go.
the time isn't right then and there, at least you're able to foreplay it's foreplay. It
kids
could
out
be
the
all
house.
day foreplay,
Yeah,
right?
the kids
Why
out-
not? And
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be a physical touch. It could be
shit.
mental foreplay and mental stimulation so that when you are able to
That's hot.
later on in the day, now you're really hot for each
Now
other.
you're ready.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you had foreplay all day. So you were simmering all day to get to that point. You're going to enjoy that sex no matter how tired you are,
Really?
It's true.
right?
True.
This is true.
So spontaneity is
Are you
always
in-
fun,
you're like,
but
are you in
keeping
the-
it spicy.
Are you in the boardroom right now, babe?
Am I? Yeah. You could listen.
Where
I
are
love
you?
like sending just random text
There you go.
messages
So do
and stuff. Like it's great.
I enjoy the text.
Why not?
I enjoy the flirtatious
And
text.
that should not stop, no
It's
matter
like-
how old you
'cause
are, no
You
matter.
could be doing something and it's like,
Yeah.
Whoa!
Exactly.
Gotta go.
Yeah. Or excuse
We're
me.
all
for
leaving
2
early
minutes.
today.
Yeah. Exactly. Why not?
But that's what, or for you young dudes and other dudes out there, how about New York State is a big place. How about figure out someplace new to go?
Yeah.
How about come to we're in a plush. This studio is in a plush area of
There's
the
a
Hudson
brewery
Valley.
right next
fuck way to
door.
go.
Yeah,
No,
hold on,
forget
hold on.
that. No, fuck that. Yo, hug her more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hug her.
Yeah.
But I'm
Hold
saying,
her,
Women
not
are
just
emotional.
hug.
Women
Hold
like
her.
affection.
And
Yeah.
take her-
Hold
You know-
her. It's not just bam, bam, bam. Okay, we're done.
Yeah,
Make me a
no.
sandwich.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck?
go outside and smoke a
Hold
cigarette.
her.
But no, I'm just saying we're in a plush area of Westchester of the Hudson Valley. It's called Beacon, New York. We have they have a wonderful waterfront hotel that I'm telling you, if you bring your woman to, believe me, you ain't leaving that room for the whole weekend.
Several
except
days.
eat. And I don't know what you're going to eat, but you might eat, but you're going to
There's
get
a lot-
some-
no,
you
there's a
might
lot of
get-
places here.
You might get that's
There's-
not the
there's-
eating I'm talking about.
Nicole, back to you. It's your segment.
But I'm just saying,
Don't let him hog up your segment.
like that's the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of relationships dwindle down and fall apart
Listen,
because
a lot
it's not
of
spontaneous.
relationships after a while,
Yeah.
people change, right? So if you're married 10 plus years, you're not the same person that you were 10 years
No, you're
ago,
not.
right? So you have to keep it spicy. I have patients that come into the office, now they're on testosterone, they're horny, they're looking better, they're feeling better, and they're like, my wife still isn't,
Not there.
she's not satisfying me. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? First thing I always ask is, well, what are you doing to help the situation? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, are you initiating foreplay? Are you, kissing the back of her neck while she's doing dishes? Are you, slapping her ass every time she walks through a doorway? Are you complimenting her on how sexy she looks? Are you bringing her flowers just because, or texting her? I'm like, you need to do these things. I said, for women, it's more of a mental game, and the end game is physical. So for me, anyway, and for a lot of women, honestly.
I agree.
And I think that's something that a lot of men were very
men are like,
physical.
I want to fuck.
Men were very physical. It's
man,
like,
man.
Yo, look, so we're gonna talk for a little bit and then we're gonna have sex. It's like, okay,
No.
but it's like women are more into the long-term effect of it,
the courting,
the